Hi guys, welcome to this video on Chromatic Enclosures. I'm going to show you exactly how to practice it. Forget about licks, forget about scales, and just focus for a little while on Chromatic Enclosures to make your bebop solos absolutely pop and come alive. So for the members of my Buy Me a Coffee, I'm throwing in this just as bonus content. This is Chromatic Enclosures, all in the key of, or the key center of C major, going through all those chord changes as you can see up there. And also there's some ways you could use those chromatic enclosures on a bunch of jazz standards. Okay, on with the video. Let's share my screen. Okay, here we are. D minor 7, G7, C major 7, a 251, 251 in the key of C major. So for arguments, let's just say we want to chromatically enclose the third there. So we're going to put a B, there's the B, and we also want to enclose the E there. So we are targeting the note B. We're going to make this note, it can either be a B or a B flat. Okay, let's make that a B flat for now. And actually, if I get rid of those, that is a chromatic enclosure. Okay, the other way that you could do it is so two ways, it doesn't matter whichever way you want to do it. And we can do exactly the same down here. Do da do da, because there we're wrapping it. We're wrapping it round. So that's a semitone. The one above is a semitone, and that one is a semitone below that one. Okay, but then also we could. Okay, so they are the different ways you could try and use a chromatic enclosure. But then what are we going to do in this gap? So here we could use, let's think what we could do. We could just simply use another chromatic enclosure to another chordal note. So why don't we target, because we are targeting the E there, if we target the G here, which is the root, and all of a sudden we've got a nice line. Okay, what about if we start on the third and we just want to do a line down? So we could go beep, target note, target note, target note, target note, target note. And if you practice that way, practice targeting notes with chromatic enclosures, you're going to get really good at chromatic enclosures. So here's another one with a broken chord in the middle. And when you practice this way, you don't need to remember licks anymore. Okay, nothing wrong with practicing licks, but for me, it is a bit overwhelming when by the time you've got to about 5 or 6 licks and you've tried to do them in all the keys, I think you're far better off trying to understand the language of what makes up a lick. So for example, let's put some 2-note enclosures. Broken chord, chromatic enclosure, so very sort of a brownish, I think, this one, or bebop-ish. So 2-note enclosures, da doo dee da da, a broken chord, and then onto a chromatic enclosure, and then just the scale with the passing note. What I play here depends on what the next chord is. Okay, because you're always practicing to target the next chord. From that, you can see how great chromatic enclosures are. So you just remember you're targeting a note. It doesn't have to be the third. You could do the root, you could do the ninth, you could do the seventh, you could do the sixth. You could do the third, like I did. So let's just recap. We're going to target the fifths this time. Okay. So here, there's the fifth, there's the fifth, there's the fifth. And we just put a little cheeky broken chord in there. So 1. So there, chromatic above. So you're just enclosing it chromatically. Okay, and just so to get people really comfy with practicing this, we've just got the diatonic chords in the key of C major. So C major 7, D minor 7, E minor 7, etc. And I've just written it out how you might practice targeting the root to the third, to the fifth, to the seventh, to the fifth, to the third, back to the root. And then here we do it D minor, root, third, fifth, etc. And then E minor. So this is just a little bonus for members of my Buy Me a Coffee. And then I've done a whole bunch of chromatic enclosure exercises on autumn leaves, all the things you are, blue bossa, there will never be another you, autumn leaves, all the things you are, blue bossa there. So just some different ones for you to try if you decide that you want to join the membership. Okay, there's also 17 lessons already in there and 17 solos in there. I'll put the link in the description. Okay guys, I hope this helps you in some way. Please remember to subscribe, share, and see you in the next video. Bye for now.